All right, leaders, if you're trying to navigate your organization through this AI-driven world, then you're in the right place. This is your executive playbook for what's happening right now. Because the future of AI risk, well, it's already here.
So, let's just set the scene. The year is 2026. For the last couple of years, AI has been this exciting playground of experimentation and frantic productivity sprints. Well, that era is over. We are now officially in the age of accountability. Regulation, audit, risk, these aren't some far-off problems anymore. They are right here, right now.
And this is the fundamental problem that I bet every single one of you is feeling. Your teams are grabbing onto AI to move faster, to innovate, to stay ahead of the competition. But just below the surface, with every new app and every new workflow, you're racking up this massive, invisible governance debt.
So, the big question is, why now? Why has this suddenly become a C-suite code red emergency? Let's unpack the forces that have pushed us right to this tipping point.
Think of it like this. For every hour of productivity your team gains using AI without any real oversight, you've been unknowingly taking out a high-interest loan. All those little quality issues, the minor data mistakes, the inconsistent checks, they've all been adding up, and now the bill is coming due.
And this is the real trap that leaders are caught in. On one hand, you've got this crushing competitive pressure. I mean, if you're not using AI to get faster and smarter, you're on the fast track to becoming irrelevant. It's an existential threat. But at the exact same time, the regulators, the auditors, the insurers, they've completely changed the game. The "trust me, we've got this" approach is dead. They've shifted to verify. They want cold, hard, defensible evidence.
Now you might be sitting there thinking, hang on, we have policies, we do annual training, we're covered. But let's take a hard look at why those traditional methods aren't just failing in 2026, they're actually creating a dangerous, false sense of security.
This image just says it all, doesn't it? You're looking at these beautiful dashboards, all green, showing 100% training completion and high AI usage rates. We have a name for this: governance theater. It looks fantastic, it feels like you're in control, but it's a performance. It's measuring activity, not actual capability. It tells you absolutely nothing about whether your people can use AI safely and effectively when the pressure is on.
Let's just break this down because it's so important. You run surveys. Well, people's self-perception is not reality. You just get inflated scores. You run tests. They're done in a sterile, artificial environment that has nothing to do with a chaotic Tuesday afternoon. And training? Look, knowing what to do is not the same as doing it. These methods create this perfect illusion of control while leaving the real risks to run wild.
And this is the terrifying result. AI risk isn't a straight line. It compounds, just like interest on a credit card. For the first few months, it's just little stuff. Small quality hiccups, missed verification steps, all easy to ignore. But then around month 7, those patterns start triggering audit flags. And after a year, you're staring down the barrel of material incidents, reputational damage, and public fallout. The longer you wait, the faster things escalate.
Okay, so that's the problem. It's big, it's serious. But there is absolutely a better way forward. So let's shift gears and talk about the solution. It's a new way of thinking about AI governance, a new mental model that actually works in the real world.
Here is the absolute key takeaway. We have to stop thinking about governance as just managing a list of approved or banned tools. That strategy is completely obsolete. The new, lasting competitive advantage comes from building a core, measurable capability in how your people and AI work together.
You see, an effective governance system isn't some static document sitting in a folder. It's a living, breathing feedback loop with 4 layers. You've got your policy at the top, but then you have to measure the capability of your teams to actually follow it. That allows you to identify real-world risk, and from there, you create a continuous loop of improvement. The problem is, almost everyone is missing that critical second layer.
So what do we even mean by capability? Simple. It's your organization's proven, repeatable ability to get safe, effective results with AI, even when things get messy. It's not about what your policy handbook says. It is the hard evidence, the proof that your people can actually execute on that policy when it really counts. This is the missing link. And to make this real, we break capability down into 5 measurable dimensions. It's a whole skill set. It covers performance, how well people use the tools; accountability, who owns the outcome; integrity, the ethical use; collaboration, how teams work together with AI; and finally, evolution, your ability to adapt as the technology itself keeps changing.
So, How in the world do you get there? How do you go from this chaotic, wild west of AI usage to the kind of order that gives you defensible evidence? Well, it all starts by getting a real, honest-to-goodness behavioral baseline. You have to measure how your people are actually using AI in their day-to-day work to even know where you're starting from.
Which brings us to the most important part of this whole discussion, your action plan. Let's turn all this theory into a practical 90-day sprint to build a control loop that gives you real visibility and governance that actually works.
Now, let's be clear. The goal here is not to solve AI in 90 days. That's impossible. The goal is to build a sustainable system. We'll do it in 3 distinct phases. First, we baseline and design. Second, we pilot and harden. And third, we scale with guardrails.
In those first 30 days, it's all about getting grounded in reality. You stop guessing and you start measuring. You find out how AI is really being used, not how you think it's being used. You measure the actual capability in a few key teams to get that honest baseline. And then you draft a simple policy that's based on reality, not some fantasy wish list. Okay, next up, days 31 to 60. This is where the rubber meets the road. You pilot, you pick a few important, high-stakes workflows, and you test your approach. This means hands-on training, not boring lectures. You build a real verification process. And here's the crucial part. When things go wrong, you don't blame people. You capture that failure data and you use it to make the workflow itself safer.
And finally, in the home stretch, you scale with guardrails. You take the evidence and the learnings from your successful pilot, and you expand to other teams with confidence. You introduce some lightweight monitoring, and you start shouting about your results. Show everyone the time saved, the quality improvements, the disasters avoided. This is how you build momentum and make the case for future investment.
Look, if there is only one thing you remember from our time together, please let it be this. Anyone can go out and buy an AI tool. That's just a line item, a cost on your P&L. But building a deep, measurable, and defensible capability in how your people collaborate with AI, that is a strategic moat. It's a durable advantage that your competitors just can't copy overnight. So, I will leave you with this final thought. You've seen the usage dashboards. You have a vague idea of what your people are doing with AI, but as you get ready for your next board meeting or that inevitable audit, you have to ask yourself, do you have the defensible evidence of what they are truly capable of? Because in 2026, that is the only question that really matters.